Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. Now take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum. Today's puzzle is called Restless Shades by Dubious Mobius, and here are the rules. You are trapped inside a ghost-filled manor. If you ever hope to see dawn, you must conduct a seance and help the 9 restless specters to find their peace. Seance by candlelight. The darkness presses in around you, and a candle is always brightest at its flame. Digits along candles will always increase from the lit end. Pray you are not left in the dark. So digits along the candle will always decrease from the lit end. Okay, so this is essentially a thermometer where the lit end is the tip of the thermometer and the other end is the bulb. So for example, this is a candle and it's basically, digits along candles will always decrease from the lit end. So for example, if an example of this working would be 7 and 4, right? Because 4 is always less than 7. Perhaps let's give an example that's 3. This is 3 of length. So say this could be 8, a 6, and a 3, right? And that would work because it's always decreasing from the tip, or if you think of it as a thermometer, it's always increasing from the bulb to the tip. And that's how candles work, or seance by candlelight works. Visions in the crystal bulb. Peer into the crystal bulb to learn how the spirits met their untimely demise. In box 5, the cell in position N determines the identity of the killer cage in the corresponding box. For example, row 4, column 6 is in position 3. So the cage in box 3 will have a sum equal to that cell. So the cage in box 3. Okay, in box 5, the cell in position N determines the identity of the killer cage in the of the killer cage in the corresponding box. Okay. So basically, okay, in box 5, you have essentially each cell corresponds to the cage. Each cell, their digit, corresponds to the sum of the cage in the corresponding box, right? So specifically, and we order this in typical Western reading notation so that we can basically, it's just convention so that we can easily talk about these things. So this is essentially box 1. This is box 2. This is box 3. This is box 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the corresponding cell in box 5, so this is box 5, this digit is equal to the sum of all the digits in the cage in box 1. Same here. The cell in box 5, which is position 2, this is position 2. And again, it's typical Western reading notation. So box 2, the cell in box 2 is equal to the sum of the cells in the cage in box 2. The cell in position 3 in box 5 is equal to the sum of the digits in the cage in box 3, etc., etc. And that's how visions in the crystal ball work, which is basically a box 5 thing where the cell's position determines what it adds up to. Okay, edge of the great beyond. The borders of the scrying crystal divide this world from the next. They must be anchored firmly or risk being lost forever. Every digit along the edge of the crystal ball, which is the 16 digits surrounding box 5. So this is also known as the Fistemafel ring, if you know about it. They must have an identical digit a king's move away to keep it tethered. Two cells on the edge may act as each other's tether. So basically, in Fistimusfel's ring, it's the ring surrounding box 5 that touches some uh, edge of some cell in box 5. That's not in box 5. And they must have an identical digit a king's move away to keep it tethered. So if this were, say, an 8, you would have to have an 8 a king's move away from it. There would have to be an 8 in one of these cells to basically fit the criteria. Because otherwise, well, basically, it's just that that's just a rule. Every digit on this ring must have essentially a tether, which is basically a same digit, which is a king's move away from it, which would be in the surrounding 8 cells. And that's all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. First things first, I think, is using the, what they call it? The visions in the crystal ball rule set, because that makes things much easier. This cell in box 5 is equal to the sum of all the digits in the cage in box 1. And there are 3 unique digits there, so it's at minimum a 6. Now, this cell is a sum of all the digits that are in the cage in box 5. Well, since this is minimum 6, what does it have to be with to actually sum up to another digit? It has to be 1 and 2, and this does have to be a 6, right? Because that's the minimum amount possible. So this would be 6, this would then be 1 or 2, and therefore this digit would be a 9, because it sums up to essentially these 3 digits. This is also the sum of 3 unique digits because of the cage in box 6, so it must be 7 or 8 because 6 and 9 are already taken. And this must be the sum of 3 unique digits in box 8, so that also must be 7 or 8. So this is a 1 or 2, this is a 1 or 2. In addition, we know that these 3 digits must add up to 6, so it's 1, 2, and 3. But this 1, 2 is the same as this one. This 1, 2, okay, so let's color these. So this 1, 2 is the same as this one, and this 1, 2 must be the same as this one. Similarly, this, whatever this is the same as that digit because it's sums up to it's the sum of all the digits in the cage, and it must be the same. Now, these two are specifically different because they're different in box 5. Therefore, they both see that cell. It cannot be either 1 or 2, so this must be a 3. Which leaves, that's 3 in the corner, we celebrate, which leaves a 1, 2 in the rest of the cage in box 1. Well, this can't be the gray 1, 2, so it must be the green one. And this can't be the green one, so this must be the gray one. Let's see. So for box 5, what are the remaining cells? It has to be specifically 3, 4, and 5. So this is 3, 4, and 5, this is 3, 4, and 5, this is 3, 4, and 5. Therefore, we know this cell, even if it's 3, 4, and 5, it must contain one of the 1s or 2s. And it cannot contain the gray 1 or 2, so this must contain the green 1 or 2, and it's with a different digit. Similarly, this digit also has to contain one of the 1 or 2s because it adds up to 5 at most, so it could be at most 1, 4 or 2, 3. So therefore, this must contain the green 1 or 2. One thing it cannot be, though, is 1, 2 added with 1, 2, right? because this is not the green one. This is the gray one. Because the green 1, 2 cannot be here. Therefore, this must be 1, 2 with another digit. So it will never be 3. So this can't be 3, which is 4 and 5. And this can't be 3, so it'll be 4 or 5. Now we have a 4, 5, 4, 5 pair in box 5, which eliminates 4 and 5 from the rest of the box. Therefore, this digit is a 3. And therefore, that digit is a 3. Remove the blue coloring. So one of these digits is a 3 with a 1, and the other one, it's either 1, 4 or it's 2, 3. We're not sure. Okay, so, well, no, actually, we know it's 2 and 3, right? Okay, so one of the digits is 1 and 3 adding up to 4, right? That would mean the other digit has to take the other 1 or 2, and since this is 1, 3, that would force this to be 2, which would force that to be 1, which would force this to be 2 and 3. But yeah, so this would have, one of them is 1, the other one is 2, and they both have to be with 3 to basically add up to 4 or 5. So therefore, we know the 3 can't be either here or here, and they both contain a 3, so this must have a 3, and it cannot be the medium gray cell, so this is a 3, and then this must be a 3. So this can't be the green cell. We don't know what these are. Let's see. These cell cannot contain a 3. Neither of these cages can contain a 3. So that means that if it's a 7, obviously it has to be 1, 2, and 4. If it's an 8, it has to be 1, 2, and 5. Right? Because you can never have a 3, so you can't have 1, 3, and 4 add up to 8. It has to be 1, 2, and 5 adding up to 8 because it's 3 unique digits. Therefore, it must contain both 1 and 2s, and it must have a 4 or a 5 added to it in both of these cages. Well, this cannot be 1 or 2 because we have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair in row 4. Similarly, in column 4, we have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair, so this digit cannot be 1 or 2. Therefore, this must be 4 or 5, and this must be 4 or 5. And they must be with 1 and 2 specifically, so therefore this is the gray 1 or 2, this must be the green 1 or 2, which forces this to be green 1 or 2, and that forces this to be gray 1 or 2. Okay, where else can this be then? We have, from all that information, we know where the green 1 or 2 is in box 2. It has to be here. And similarly, since this is kind of symmetrical around the negative diagonal, or the cages are symmetrical around the negative diagonal, this one has to be the medium gray. Yep. Because we have all the medium gray cells. And the last ones we don't know, right? Okay. In the cells, okay, so in the cells surrounding box 5, we know that there has to be a tether. Well, it already is there. So these two are already there. That's fine. For these two cells, we know that they're not the same as that one. So this one corresponds to this one is not the same as that one. Therefore, this must be the red one. This has to be then the dark gray one. Three has to be one of these two cells here. 3 cannot be the gray cell, obviously, so it must be then one of the two cells here. Similarly, 3 has to be one of these two cells because it cannot be the green, and it must be one of these two cells. Well, what happens if the 3 is here? It cannot have another 3 that its kings move away from it. So this cannot be a 3, which means this must be the 3. And it must have a king's a 3, a king's move away, which would only be here. So this is 3, which means that can't be 3. This can't be 3 anymore, so this is now 3. This can't be 3, so this must be a 3. And we have all those 3s now. Whatever this cell is, a king's move away that is not repeated would have to be either the 6 or the 4-5. We're not sure. So this is 4-5 or 6. Similarly, this is 4-5 or 6 because it chooses between that one, and so that's 6 and that 4 or 5. What about this one is then 3-4-5, but it cannot be the 3 because we already have all the 3s in the set. So therefore, this must be specifically this dark gray. So it's a 4-5. This similarly cannot be this 3, and it can only be 3 or 4 or 5 because it can't be the 7 or 8 because that is eliminated by Sudoku rules. Therefore, this is the red 4 or 5. Now we know that the dark gray 4 or 5 has to be one of these two cells. And it cannot have a 1, 2, or 3. So one of these is the red 4 or 5. And this cannot have a 1, 2, or 3 with it on the thermometer, right? The 1 and 2 are here, and the 3 has to be here. In addition, it cannot have the 4, 5 be there, the other 4 or 5 be there. So it must be the lowest digit on the candle stick. So this must be the 4 or 5 red. We don't know what the last one is, but we have all the digits from 1 through 5 accounted for, so the rest of the digits must be 6 through 9. So this is 6 through 9, this is 6 through 9, and this is 6 through 9 on the column, right? We have both 1, 2s. This is a 3, and we have both 4, 5s. So the rest are 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. This cannot contain a 1, 2, a 3, or the red 4, 5. We don't know where the dark 4, 5 is. It could be on the candlestick. It could not be on the candlestick. But that would be the lowest amount possible. So this would be a 4 or 5 possible. It could also be, well, okay, so that's the lowest. So that would be 4. This could not be 5, 4 or 5 because it sees both different 4 5s. So this would be 6 at least, and this is 7. And this is what I like doing typically for thermometers, which the candlesticks are essentially. It's like going from the lowest amount, starting with the lowest amount, and then increasing it to see where it could get to, and then going from the tip and going back to the bulb with the largest amount, and then basically going down. So this would be 7, 8. This could be up to 7. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's see. This is at, let's see, what else do we have? This digit could be either of these 3 digits. Okay, well, there you go. Right? It cannot be any of these because these are in the same box and are eliminated by Sudoku. These are in the same row or column and they're eliminated by Sudoku. So therefore, this cell has to have a matching cell. Therefore, it's either the reds or it's the dark gray. And we know this is dark gray. Therefore, this can't be dark gray. So it has to be the red. So this is the red 4, 5. Similarly with this cell, well, okay, let's use, sorry, Yeah, this one we only knew from the candle. Because we knew one of these two had to be the candle. One of these two actually could be the dark gray, so that doesn't help. This is a 3, obviously, which is next to a 3. That's fine. This is the same as one of these 3 cells, which is fine. This is the same as one of these 3 cells, so this also has to be 6 through 9. This has to be the same as one of these 3 cells, so this is also 6 through 9. Oops. The dark cell, where can the dark cell be? What about this cell? This cell cannot be the green one too because we already have one in its box. It must be one of these 2 cells. This could be, oh, it can't be dark gray because we see both 4, 5. So this has to be 6 through 9. This also sees everything from 1 through 5. Oh, the remaining cells in box 8 must be 6 through 9. Same with box 6. So this is 6 through 9. Okay. What else do we know? Okay. We're going to color these yellow and orange. Where is the orange in box 8? It has to be one of these 2 cells here, right? Which means it's one of these 2 cells. Which means in box 2, where is the 7 or 8? Well, it cannot be this because of the edge of the great beyond rule set. So it must be one of these 2 cells. And the thing is, where can it be on this candlestick, right? Does it ever have a digit that's greater than it? Well, we see the 9 in this column, so no, that 9 can't be there. And the yellow 7 or 8 cannot be there because it's also in the same column. Therefore, every other possible digit would have to be less than it on the candlestick. So therefore, this has to be this yellow, orange 7 and 8. And this must be a 4, 5, or 6. We're not sure which. Oh yeah, these can't be 6 because of the 6 here, and these can't be 6. So therefore, one of these 2 cells is a 6. So this can never be a 6. And the 6 has to be one of these 2 cells because one of these 2 cells has to be a 6. Similarly, one of these 2 cells is a 6, so none of these can be a 6. Therefore, where is the 6 in box 4? It must be one of those 3 cells then. Okay. So we have one of the 4 5s is here, one of the 4 5s is here, which means we have a 4 5 6 triplet in box 2, which eliminates 4 5 and 6 from the rest of the box. Therefore, this must be a 7 8 or 9. Oh, we could also do it this way. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Mm -hmm. Um, hmm. What is this digit? This digit cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 because we have pairs of 1s, 2s, and pairs of 4 and 5 already in that row. So this has to be 7 or 8. We're not sure which one it is. This then has to be 8 or 9 to be increasing along this candle. Blue. Okay, so this cannot be 1, 2, or 3. So the minimum amount here would have to be a 4, which would mean the minimum here would be a 5. The minimum here would be a 6. The max would be a 9, down to an 8, down to a 7. So that's possible there. We have 4 digits here that are from that form a quadruple, which is 6, 7, 8, and 9 in row 7. That eliminates 6, 7, 8, and 9 from the rest of the row. Therefore, the remaining cells must be 1, 2, 4, 5, because we also have a 3 here. So this is 1, 2, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 4, 5. This cell must be consecutive, or must be a king's move away from another cell of the same digit. It cannot be these 3 cells, and it can't be these 2 cells. This cell can never be a 1 or 2. Therefore, it must be a 4 or 5. And it cannot be the red 4 or 5, so it must be the dark gray one. This then cannot be 4 or 5. It must be a 1 or 2. Which 1 or 2 is it? It has to be the green one. So this is the green 1 or 2. And now we can fill out the rest of the 1 or 2s because we know where the green one is. So this has to be the green 1 or 2. We have all the green 1 or 2s. We do not have the all the gray 1 or 2s. And we can figure it out what it is because this red eliminated that possibility for being a 1 or 2. And it can't be this one, it can't be any of these because of the other gray 1 or medium gray 1 or 2s. So this must be the medium gray. Whereas the last medium gray, it has to be here because that's 9 now. So this one matches that. This matches this. This 7, 8, or 9 is It cannot match this, and it cannot match this. So this one must match this. So let's label this as an A. We're not sure if it's orange or not. So this matches that one. What about this one? It cannot be either. It could be the yellow one. There should be a corresponding one here. But no, that's the 1 or 2. No, sorry, the corresponding one would have to be here, right? No, wait, hold up. This could be the yellow one, so it could match that one. So it could match either that or that. We're not sure which. If it's orange, it does match that one, and it is there. If it's yellow, it could match that. Okay. No, that doesn't help. Yellow has to be one of these two. Then it has to be one of these two. Oh. Right. Okay, so yellow cannot be either of these cells. Where is it in box 6? It must be one of these 2 cells, which means this cannot be the yellow 7 or 8. It must be the orange 7 or 8. Right? which could be less than 9, or it could be less than yellow being 8. We don't know which. Therefore, orange must be one of these two cells. We don't know which, though. Yellow can't be either of these cells, so this cannot be yellow. These both see the yellow 7 or 8 and the orange 7 or 8. Therefore, there cannot be 7 or 8. So it could be 4 or 5. One of the dark gray 4 or 5s is here. Or it could be, cannot be 7 or 8. It must be 9 with it. Right? What else can this be? And actually, the 9 has to be one of these two. So this can never be 9. Right, so this is 4, 5, or 9. One of these is a 9. Okay. And this cannot be the orange 7 or 8. Because we know this one has to be. Because, again, one of these cannot be yellow, so therefore the yellow one has to be one of these. Therefore, this must be the orange 7 or 8. Which means this cannot match this one. It still needs to have a matching cell and kings move away. It cannot match the 1 or 2, obviously, so it must match this one. So with this one, we're going to label A. And that matches that. So this specifically matches that one. Okay. Well, because this is 7, 8, or 9, we know this cannot specifically be 7, 8, and 9. Because then that would leave this cell with no possibilities. So this can't be a 7. We know that matching A has to be one of these two cells, but we don't know which. This could be 4, 5, and 6. This still could actually be the yellow. We don't actually know. Right, it could be yellow and orange here, which would force this to be 9. Hmm. This still could be any of these two. Or any of these 3. This is also 4 through 9, unfortunately. Do we have anything else? Not really. This can't be light gray, so one of these two is the dark gray. Or medium gray, sorry, it can't be medium gray. That doesn't tell us very much, unfortunately. This can't be dark gray. So this one can't be, so it must be one of these two. In box 1. Oh. In box 2, where is the dark gray? It has to be one of these two cells. Therefore, we know in box 1, the dark gray cell must be in rows 2 and 3. In box 2, the dark gray cell must be in box 2 or rows 2 and 3. Therefore, the rows 2 and 3 cannot contain a dark gray, and therefore it must be in box 3, it has to be in row 1. So one of those is dark gray. That's not too helpful. One of these cells is dark gray. Orange has to be one of these two cells. Yellow has to be one of these two cells. And yellow must be one of these two cells. So this is 7, 8, or 9, which means that is 7, 8, or 9. What else do we know? Red has to be one of these three, but it doesn't tell us which one. Oh. This is A. Ah, okay. Now we know. Where is red in box 9? It has to be one of these two cells. Where is A in box 9? It has to also be one of these two cells. Therefore, the only places for those two digits, which are unique, have to be these two cells, which eliminates all of the possibilities for those two cells. Therefore, this cannot be the dark. The dark gray has to be here. So this cannot be 6. This is 4 or 5, which means this cannot be the dark gray either. So the red has to be one of these two cells along with the A, right? Does that tell us enough? Not really. Oh, where is the red then in box 1? Can't be this one because of this red. Can't be this one because of that red. Therefore, it must be here. So this is a red. Which means this can no longer be red. It can't be the dark gray 4, 5. So this can't be 4, 5. So this must be a 6. Which means this cannot be a 6. It has to be the red and the yellow together. Therefore, this must also be 6 through 9. We're not sure which, because both of the 4 5s are in other cells in the box. This also must be 6 through 9. So must these two. And this can't be 6, because this is a 6 now, so it must match either the orange or this cell. We're not sure which. This cannot be 4, 5 because all the other 4, 5s are accounted for in box 1. It can't be 6, therefore it must be a 7, 8, or 9. So therefore, one of these is the orange one because they only 7, 8, and 9 can be in these three cells in box 1. The 6 must be in one of these two cells then, because we have a 7, 8, 9 removed from all the rest of the cells in the box. This has to be the dark gray cell, which is a 4 or 5, and the other one must be a 6. So this is 4, 5, or 6, and the 6 has to be one of these two cells. Well, the 6 is also in row 2 or row 3 in box 1. It's also in row 2 and row 3 in box 2. Therefore, it cannot be in the rest of row 2 and row 3. So for box 3, so this can't be 6 then. Box 3, the 6 has to be one of these two cells. In addition, so we now have a 7, 8, 9 triplet, right? A is 7, 8, or 9. Because it sees a 6 here, so this A has to be the same as that one by the edge of the great beyond rule, and it can't be orange. And it has to be here. So one of these is 7, 8, 9. This is 7, 8, or 9. This is 7, 8, or 9. We have a triplet 7, 8, 9 in column 9, which eliminates 7, 8, or 9 from the rest of the column. So this cannot be 7, 8, or 9. It must be a 6, which means this cannot be 6. This, therefore, is not orange, because orange has to be a 7 or 8. Therefore, this is the orange 7 or 8. Okay. The A cannot be an orange cell. So this is not an orange cell. This orange cell cannot be here. Therefore, one of these two must be the orange cell. Where is the last possible orange cell in box 3? It cannot be cannot be either of any of the colored cells, and it can't be these two because of where they are in here in column 7 and column 8. Therefore, this must be an orange, and it cannot be 9, obviously. So this is 7 or 8. That's orange, which means this cannot be orange, which means this must be an orange, and it's 7 or 8. So we should have the majority of oranges when we don't have completely everything. Okay, this is the orange 7 or 8. This is either yellow 7, 8, or it's a 9. We're not sure which. Where else is this? The last red has to be one of these 3 cells in box 7. Uh, hmm. How the spirits met. Okay, we have all of these. We don't know anything about the relationship between dark and red. This can't be... A cannot be either of these cells, so this must be an A. Ah, okay. So A cannot be either of these 2 cells, so this one must be the A in box 1, which means this can't be A, and we know the A can't be an orange. So therefore, this must be A in box 2. Obviously, one of these 2 is an A, and the other one must be an A. Okay, so A is the one that has to be with the orange cell in these 2 cells in box 8, right? We're not sure which one that is. One of these 2 cells is an A. This can't be A. A can be either of these 4 cells, unfortunately. And it's one of these 2 cells. A has to be one of these 4 cells in box 7. That doesn't help much. Well, we do know that the A has to be these, right? So this is A or orange. Okay, maybe that's it. This is A or orange. Therefore, wait, it can't be either because this is orange. Oh wait, no. This is not on the edge. So this, you don't have that rule set. I'm like, how does that breaks then? This has to be the other 7, 8, or 9, right? Because it sees all the 4 5s, it sees all the 1 2s, it sees the 3 and 6, therefore it has to be 7, 8, or 9. It's the non-A 7, 8, or 9. So therefore it would match this. So this is B. Okay, well then that matches this, right? So this can't be A and it can't be the orange. So this has to be the B. Well, this must match the B also because it can't be A or orange. Therefore, B is one of these 2 cells, which doesn't tell us much. This can't be B, this can't be B. So one of these is a B. And this one can't, so therefore this is the B. Right. That's not telling us very much. One of these is a B. It's B with a 6, which doesn't tell us very much. Uh, Hmm. Okay, let's not make these letters. Let's just color them. Maybe that'll help us. This one we're gonna make blue, and I guess we can make this pink, right? So this is blue, this is pink. This A is pink, these are pink. This is blue. This must be blue. This is pink. This is pink. One of these, therefore, is a pink. The blue has to be here. So this can't be blue. This can't be blue. Ah, where's the blue? Right, it has to be here. So this cannot be the orange then. Aha, so there we have something. I would not consider this easy. This seems pretty complex. I would say challenging level difficulty. This can't be a B. This can't be a B. None of these can be a B because they are a different color. Therefore, the B has to be here. Therefore, this cannot be orange. So this is the blue. This cannot be orange. This has to be orange. So this is 7 or 8, and it's less than the blue. So the blue is 8 or 9. We already knew that, though. We already had that relationship here. So we know these are 8 and 9s. This cannot be blue. Therefore, one of these two, that can't be blue. Therefore, this has to be the blue. Right? This can't be blue anymore. These can't be blue anymore. Therefore, this must be the blue, which means it is 8 or 9. It cannot be 6, whereas the 6 in box 8, it has to be here. This is the pink. Again, we can remove the A label, and we can remove the B label. So all the blues, though, have to be 8 or 9. So it cannot be 7. It's 8 or 9 specifically. And it's larger than the orange. So again, one of these two is the blue. We're not sure which. This can't be, so one of these must be blue. And this can't be blue anymore. Therefore, this has to be the blue. Well, since that's the blue, we know that 6 has to be one of these two cells. This can't be, obviously, 6 or 7. This is 8 or 9. Whereas the 6, it has to be here. So this is a 6. This is the blue 8 or 9, and this is pink. Okay. So where are all the blues now? So it could be this one or this one. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So do we have this for all the cells surrounding in the Fistamafel ring, surrounding box 5? Do we have all of them? This orange must be here. These 3 match each other. This 6 matches that. This 1 or 2 matches here. This 4 or 5 matches here or here, potentially. This pink 7, 8, 9 cannot match this one because it's not the blue. It has to match this, which means it has to be yellow. Because it can't be orange, right? Because this can't be orange. So this is no longer orange. Therefore, this must be not orange, and it must match the yellow. So that means this can never be blue. So this is not blue. The blue has to be the 9, so this can't be blue. Therefore, this must be blue, and it is the 9. The pink has to be, this cannot be orange. Therefore, this must be the pink. And it must be then the yellow. So the pink matches the yellow. So this cannot be yellow then. This is yellow and pink. They match. Um, we're going to make all the yellows pink because there aren't many yellows. So they're all pink. So this is pink, which means this cannot be pink. This is orange then. This cannot be 9. This can't be 9. We're going to move the A's. Therefore, this can't be 6 or 9. And it can't be the pink 7 or 8. Therefore, this must be the orange 7 or 8. What about this? This could also be the pink. What's the last one? 6, right? Yeah, the 6 has to be one of these 3. Okay. This could still be then 4, 5, 7, 8. This cannot be 9. It could be 6, 7, or 8. This can't be 6. Where is the 6 now in column 7? Can't be any of these cells because of the 6's here. This is obviously a 1 or 2. Therefore, the 6 can only be in this cell. This has to be a 6. This can't be a 9. We could have probably also figured it out that way. So this is a 6, which means this can't be 6. So one of these two cells is a 6. This can no longer be 8. This can no longer be 7, because it can't be 7, it cannot be the pink. So the pink is one of these two, which doesn't help us much. This is red or a 6. We're going to make the 6's, I guess, all light. So this could be, these two could be light. And these two could be light. And these two could be light. Okay, so let's continue. So again, this pink had to be this one because it could not be that one because this was blue. This had to be orange or pink, but the orange could not be here anymore, therefore it has to be pink. This matches here, this 6 matches here, this 3 matches that 3. This orange matches that orange. This dark matches that dark. This pink matches that pink. This red matches both of these pinks. This green matches that green. And this one could match either one of these. So that's fine. This is a 3. Matching the 3. The 7, again, the orange, right? Oranges match. Obviously this can't be 9 here. Okay. Do we know anything else from this? Well, okay. So, if the green is a 1, that would mean the dark gray is a 4. So if the green is a 1, that means this is 1 and 3, which means this has to match that, which must mean that must be a 4. So green 1 means dark gray 4. Dark gray 4 means this has to be a 7. So you have 1, 4, 7 if that's the case. If that's the case, this could be still a pink and a red. What if we go the other way then? So say this light gray or medium gray is a 1. If the medium gray is a 1, therefore this would be 4. This would have to be a 4 for red. And therefore, this would have to be a 7 for orange. But this cannot then work, right? Because this would be 7. This would force this to be 5. But the dark gray is the 5. And so you would have 2 5s in box 7. Therefore, this can never be 1. All the greens then are 1, 2, are the 1s. All the medium grays are 2. Since the greens are 1, that means the dark grays are 4. We know this can't be 9. So let's remove the dark gray coloring here because we're not sure. Oh, this is dark gray. Right. Okay, so there we go. So this can't be dark gray. This has to be light. This cannot be light. Therefore, this is dark gray, which means this can't be dark gray. So this is light, and this can't be light then because it's dark gray. And we just showed that that cannot match that way. This can't be light. Therefore, this has to be light. Well, there you go. That was probably the easier solve. And therefore, this had to be between the large numbers, or it has to be between 6, because we know this is 6, and then another large number, so this must be pink. It cannot be red, which means this can't be red, or this can't be pink also. Sorry, it is pink, and it can't be red. This can't be pink anymore, so this is red. This can't be red. This can't be pink, so therefore this can't be red. And that's the solution. So all the grays now are 6, which would force all the pinks to be 7, which forces all the oranges to be 8. And the remaining digit now is, this has to be 4 for the, 5 for the red. And the dark gray has to be 4. And that's the solution. As you put the last piece of the mystery together, the voices in the orb fade. You hear no more walls from the second floor, and the scratching sounds that have been drawing closer recede again. Perhaps they were just branches brushing the window panes. The last candle sputters out, but gray dawn light is growing in the eastern windows, and the house is finally at peace. Happy Halloween! Yeah, I would consider this challenging level. Pretty cool puzzle, actually. A very interesting rule set, but it's not easy, I would categorize. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.